Hello, welcome to McDowell Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. In this series, we play through each of the battles in the American Grand Campaign in Close Combat 4, the Battle of the Bulge. We use historical World War II US Army doctrine to plan and conduct each battle. We start on the strategic map. It is 0800 hours on December 19, 1944, and the weather is overcast. Air support and artillery have been allocated, and there are no supply drops. In the last episode, the US 10th Armoured Division fought the German Kampfgruppe von Böhm of 2nd Panzer Division at Longvilly. The battle was a major American victory. The next battle is at Wiltz, between the US 110th Regimental Combat Team of 28th Division and the German Kampfgruppe Hansen from the 1st Panzer Division. Commander, Wiltz contains a large number of buildings which will provide excellent cover for both attacker and defender. Expect the Germans to initially focus on seizing Chateau de Wiltz. In this terrain, you should be able to overcome any disadvantage in armour strength. Watch for isolated panzers. It is vital that you hold this position. On the US side is an American infantry battle group from the 110th Infantry Regiment, under command of Captain Searley. It moves slowly and reserves are full. The company consists of 3 platoons. 1st and 2nd platoon are infantry, and 3rd platoon is a support platoon with 2 anti-tank guns and a mortar. The original squads retain their names and statistics. The battle group has been reinforced and brought up to full strength following its battle at Wiltz yesterday. Let's rename the new squads off camera. Now, let's review each of the squads. 3-1 is 3rd Platoon Headquarters. 1-1 is 1st Platoon Headquarters. 2-1 is 2nd Platoon Headquarters. 2-3 is a Rifle Squad. 3-5 is a Recon Team. 3-2 is a 57mm anti-tank gun. 3-3 is also a 57mm anti-tank gun. 1-5 is a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. 2-5 is also a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. 3-4 is a 60mm light mortar. 1-4 is an M9 bazooka team. 2-4 is also an M9 bazooka team. 1-2 is a BAR squad. 1-3 is a rifle squad. And 2-2 is a BAR squad. Next, let's look at the map and conduct a commander's estimate of the situation. Our mission is to defend Wiltz. Wiltz is a large town at the foot of the Chateau de Wiltz. The chateau is built on a hill overlooking the Wiltz River to the north that winds its way from west to east, fed by a small creek to the southeast. The eastern approaches to the chateau are wooded slopes, and the chateau dominates the road into Wiltz. The town itself consists of numerous winding streets with close-packed multi-storey buildings either side. In the north is a railroad running east-west to the railroad station. To the south, on La Grande Rue, a large warehouse building stores agricultural produce from the surrounding farmlands. This is what Wiltz looks like today. This is complex terrain because observation in most parts of the town is much less than weapon ranges. Most action will be fought at close range. However, the chateau has commanding views of the surrounds, as does the 2-storey building to the northeast. The briefing told us that Wiltz contains a large number of buildings which will provide excellent cover for both attacker and defender. The wooded slopes to the east also provide concealment. The whole town is an obstacle to movement, as the streets canalize vehicle movement along predictable lines, and the buildings overlook the streets. It is a defender's dream and an attacker's nightmare. The chateau, with its commanding views and thick walls, is the obvious key terrain. Approaches to Wiltz from the east are either the narrow road between the river and the chateau in the north, or the wooded slopes to the south. Kampfgruppe Hansen is likely to send us a panzer company with tanks, half-tracks, and supporting infantry. The briefing warns us to expect the Germans to initially focus on seizing Chateau de Wiltz. This is reasonable given that American possession of the chateau prevents vehicle movement along the road into Wiltz. The infantry assault on the chateau could be supported by vehicles along the road. The killing zone would remain the eastern half of the chateau and adjacent roadway. Alternatively, the Germans could move around to the south and try to infiltrate Wiltz rather than conduct a direct assault. In previous battles, the Germans have dedicated tanks and infantry to this avenue of approach. The Germans could move infantry squads up the wooded slopes close to the buildings, and then rush the buildings to overwhelm defenders. The infantry could be supported by tanks on the slopes. The killing zone would remain the open ground along and adjacent to La Grande Rue. We will continue to meet the German attack head-on, but with further modifications due to lessons learned from previous battles. First Platoon will block advances through the chateau, bringing flanking fires on German infantry. Once again, the buildings are likely to be the scene of vicious close combat. Third Platoon will remain dispersed. The recon team will remain in the two-storey building to the north to provide observation into the German rear area. And 3rd Platoon headquarters in the mortar will remain close to the chateau to provide a situational reserve if required. An anti-tank gun to the north will cover the road north around the chateau. This position has been effective in previous battles. 2nd Platoon will cover the southern approach. Drawing on lessons from earlier battles, they will now fall back to lure the Germans forward into an anti-tank ambush. Importantly, they will withdraw rearwards from buildings on the edge of the town. The 2nd anti-tank gun in 2nd Platoon's position will cover the road east and the open ground south. 2nd Platoon's bazooka will support them with similar tasks. The 2 infantry squads and medium machine gun will guard the anti-tank positions, with 2nd Platoon headquarters at the base of the defensive position. I have made my decision and have placed the platoons and squads in position. And so we begin. German infantry in the open. The Panzerschreck is a risk to the anti-tank gun. The BAR squad opens up. And the mortar opens a fire mission. 3 squads indicates a platoon attack. The medium machine gun targets infantry in the riverbed. 4 squads now, definitely a platoon attack across open ground in the north. More infantry to the south. And a Panzer IV and half-track. Germans entering the chateau from the south. German mortar fire.
Barrage available!
3-1 reports barrage available.
Feldwebel!
Let's hold that for now.
Feldwebel!
3-2 engages the Sonderkampfversuch 251-16 Flammenwerfer.
Nailed him!
The Flammenwerfer is destroyed. A cruel weapon, good to be rid of it. 3-2 goes to ground, while the scouts maintain observation and report back.
Serving ammunition! Serving ammunition!
The mortar fires its last round.
Nailed him!
Another German squad destroyed.
Feldwebel!
Surely there are units to the south, but we cannot see them yet.
Nailed him!
The German infantry platoon attack in the north is decisively defeated, along with the flame half-track, without loss to the Americans. But the battle is not over yet, with Germans taking the chateau. Panzer IV out of line of sight. Still nothing to the south. Boyle is the first American casualty. WW2 is running low on ammo. Two panzers.
Hit the door! Heads down.
Panzer IV destroyed. Medium machine gun squad lost.
Nailed him! Conserving ammunition!
Hand to hand in the chateau. More American casualties.
Conserving ammunition!
Schmeißt euch hin!
Nailed him!
Another German squad destroyed. The remaining two panzers are proving shy. Close combat in the chateau. The Americans cautiously advance. The bazooka will move up to engage the panzers. Still no line of sight for the anti-tank guns. German mortar fire on the chateau. More Germans.
Conserving ammunition!
WW2 is out of ammo. 1st Platoon Headquarters moves up to reinforce.
Redeployed, in position.
The Americans push forward to take the chateau and threaten the panzers. Sergeant King killed.
Ammunition!
1-3 is eliminated. The German Zugführer group, or platoon headquarters, is putting up a last stand.
Target out of range.
Almost out of time. The BAR squad fixes bayonets and moves up. Decisive American victory. The battle ended because time ran out. Both sides still control some victory locations. The Americans won the battle because they control a greater number of crucial victory locations than the Germans. The Americans lost 4 killed and 6 wounded. The Germans lost 21 killed, 24 wounded, 1 tank destroyed, and 1 half-track destroyed. Let's examine the American squads. 1st Platoon bore the brunt of the battle. Sergeant Rahman from 1-2, the BAR squad, is awarded the Combat Infantryman's Badge. 1-3 is eliminated with 2 dead and 4 seriously wounded. Sergeant King is posthumously awarded the Combat Infantryman's Badge for actions at the chateau. The medium machine gun squad is also wiped out, but PFC Abel accounted for the better part of a German platoon and is posthumously awarded the Bronze Star. By contrast, 2nd Platoon did not see combat this morning. Their squads waited nervously while listening to the sounds of heavy combat immediately to their north. 3rd Platoon also had a quiet battle. Aaron, in 3-2, knocks out a Panzer IV, and both Aaron and Shaft share credit for the half-track kill. And PFC Van Kamp expended the last of the mortar ammunition. Don't worry, Captain Seeley has requested resupply. So far, the campaign remains a major American victory. The Grand Campaign has 13 days remaining. Your defence of the Ardennes is progressing better than your historical counterparts. Over the campaign, cumulative American losses are 225 killed in action, 229 wounded in action, 24 tanks, 2 vehicles, and 13 guns. Cumulative German losses are 560 killed, 488 wounded, 72 tanks, 65 armoured vehicles, and 1 anti-tank gun. So, what did we learn? First, don't attack across open ground. German infantry in the open north of the chateau was a juicy target for the artillery barrage, but the barrage was not necessary, and the defending US infantry, in high ground behind thick stone walls, was able to deal with the German platoon attack using squad weapons. The lesson is for infantry not to attack entrenched enemy across open ground. It seems that the 4.5 years of World War I was still not enough to teach this lesson. Unsurprisingly, this initial phase of the battle ended without American casualties. Then, the close quarters battle in the chateau started. This later phase of the battle accounted for all 10 American casualties. Nonetheless, the cautious approach to defence of the chateau paid off. The Americans held their ground against a determined attack and inflicted more casualties than they took. A platoon defeated a company. So, once again, force ratios favour the defence, at a rate of about 3:1. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.